Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A good... what day is it today? Today's Wednesday. Good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, as well as on YouTube. And thanks to all those listening on the podcast. Matt Iwanyk with you here, Jasmine with you here today. And right now, Brendan, the intern, who usually sits on the other side of the camera, he's sitting in here right now as Bellezy's on his way because it's Wednesdays. And Bellezy comes from practice, I believe it is. And he says the hen day, there might be a little bit of a crash. So he's going to be a little bit later.
It's slippery out there.
Is it?
Yeah. All the roads are pretty slick.
I find them slippery.
I find even walking slippery.
In front of our office here, there's like a snowbank and then the grass to walk in. And I always throughout winter would walk over the snow and walk in that way.
Me too.
And we've created a nice little path. It's all pure ice now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to walk the long way around now. And it's like, it's a joke. Brendan, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Don't sound so excited there. Calm down.
Sorry.
The EST Hangout, as I said, presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. Right now, on until this Friday, through this Friday, which is February 28th, end of this month, 75% off 12 weeks, 5x5 units, Canadian storage provider by Canadian. We will get to the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to wait till, we'll get to it right away here because I'll get Brendan's thoughts here too. But also, we've split camera. He now has a mic fully when he's sitting on the other side.
Isn't that crazy?
Even when we have this mic going.
I love that.
We got it figured out.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of
wild.
power.
No,
it is a
good.
lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
The producer always has a lot of power.
Yeah, that's scary, isn't it?
It's nice for them to chime in too, right? And get their thoughts
But
and
like,
feedback too.
even like Trev or Zach, they could shut off the host mics and just take over. That's the power producers have.
Yeah, we're going dark.
Yeah.
I didn't like that take at all.
I like it though.
I will say I learned something about Brendan yesterday. Well, there was a statement that was thrown out there. And it was Brendan apparently can do Rubik's Cubes very well. And Brendan and I walked away going, hey, Rubik's Cube tomorrow. I thought he was going to bring his in. He thought I was going to bring mine in. Neither of us brought one in.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this tomorrow. But apparently, Brendan can just do a Rubik's Cube. You actually put a time on it.
Yeah.
A minute and a half.
Yeah. That was my rusty time.
Yeah, your rusty time?
That was me being generous. The best I've ever done is 58 seconds.
Wow.
And yesterday I practiced just to make sure I remembered how, because I knew I was going to have to do it in front of a camera. And I got 1 minute and 7 seconds.
That's unbelievable.
I'm not going to promise those numbers tomorrow because, the lights are brighter here than they are in my living room. But
now I want you to use mine because I don't trust yours. That's part of why I guess I was supposed to bring mine in. But mine isn't the greatest, and it can be tough to turn in times. So time-wise, you will get a little bit of... if you could do it under 5.
Oh, absolutely.
I find that ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this on the Hangout tomorrow.
Yep.
Brendan's going to come in, and we're going to have him... We're going to mix it up.
We have 2 of them or just one?
Oh, we'll bring his and mine.
Yeah. I think I should do it.
I'll mix it up once. You could just see if he does it.
Yeah.
If he does it, then you could mix one up and see if he can still do it.
Sure.
I'm still fascinated by this. I've tried Rubik's Cubes. I can't do them.
Maybe we could do a poll tomorrow. Should we try our first poll?
Sure.
How many people can do it?
Yeah.
Rubik's Cube?
That's actually a fun little stat.
Yeah.
How many people do you think can solve a Rubik's Cube?
When Bellezy gets here,
I bet you
he could enter a poll.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
You could do it on YouTube.
Or on YouTube. Yeah.
And just write, can you do a Rubik's Cube, yes or no? And then we could find out.
Under 5 is light work.
Is Tracy having some sort of surgery?
Are we talking about sticky rice?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Well, I'm just hearing... we still got audio here.
Yeah. Norm, give us
how's Tracy from Big Uke? And then she's under knife at the moment.
Oh.
Hopefully everything's okay and all is good.
Yeah.
Sending all positive vibes but I'm assuming Tracy's way there, so didn't know about that.
All right.
Is
she getting a BBL? Just kidding.
Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it.
Okay, just making sure you know what it is. Big U. Well, okay, so this VR and Big U. Yup, she is. There's
she
a
is.
no. That came in. They wouldn't have heard your comment yet. Oh, that came in. We do have like probably about a 20-second delay to YouTube from what we're talking about. So those are coming in to saying, yeah, no, she's having some sort of surgery.
Oh yeah.
They're now going to hear that Big U going, yep, BBL. Which is kind of...
I'm like, that's sick.
That's sick. If you don't know what a BBL is, just Google it. I don't. I'll just leave that one there.
Yeah, but get well, sticky rice.
Absolutely. Or round of clicks for sticky rice.
Yeah, round of clicks.
Round of clicks for sticky rice.
Sending clicks.
Yeah, so Big U, LOL to surgery, not BBL, laugh emoji, and then added the silly goose emoji.
Oh yeah, we're being silly gooses today.
The Hangout, we're filthy on the Hangout.
Yeah.
We say silly goose.
Silly, yeah, that's where we
Off
use
the
it.
rails.
We're always off the rails. Cover those ears because we'll be dropping silly gooses all over the place. You get banned in the Nielsen show for a little bit for saying silly goose. We encourage silly goose on the Hangouts.
This is the behavior of a silly goose out here, all right?
Yeah. I'm not going to read the jock strap. Yes, you are correct. You are correct on that. I don't want to read the full name even.
Just spreading fake news over here, like he's getting a BBL.
Oh, Big Maple, weird. I just went to Google it and it was a top search item in my history.
Why was it purple?
Yeah, surgery to fix her broken back, spinal.
Aw,
Well,
that's
definitely
tough.
like all the best. That's a tough one. So,
So tough.
hoping all the best for Tracy there, Sticky Rice.
It's Pink Shirt Day today. I
I was not
completely
aware.
forgot, and I just wanted to point that out that I would be wearing pink, and I feel so bad. But shout out to Anti-Bullying Day today.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was today either.
Yeah.
February 26th. I don't have pink either.
Yeah,
Do you own pink?
Yes.
Like, could you? Yeah,
Or
you
sand.
could have worn pink.
coral.
I have
Stars.
I don't know if it would be considered as a pink, like full pink, but I have one shirt that's borderline and I have just a full pink shirt.
Oh.
Like it is my go-to outfit in the summer. One of my favorite outfits. I've had this for years is I have this pink shirt, white shorts.
Oh, that's a risky game.
Is it though?
The white shorts?
White shorts.
Oh no, I'm big into wearing the white shorts, golfing regular. I love my white hoodies as my
Yeah.
favorite. I love wearing white. You're 100% right.
Yeah, that's a.
You're
It
washing
is.
those a lot. You get that one stain, like
there she
that one's
goes.
not coming out.
Oh, it's true. I get like lipstick and all that on my
Yeah.
white stuff all the time. Yeah.
The golf one for sure. I'm always like, there's something that's going on. It is getting quite dirty today.
Well, yeah, either a dog at the turn or a wrestling match on 14. Like,
The dog, like that's the one you have to, because if you also get the ketchup,
Oh, dude.
and then you're playing for 9 holes, and you're like, I got this stupid stain on my pants, and I look like an idiot because it's very noticeable right now.
at
But
least
no,
you have something to give the blame on, or blame the game.
Sure.
Yeah.
I should just have it at the start so I can blame the whole round on it. I do like wearing my white shorts, white hoodies throughout the winter. That's my favorite,
Yeah.
straight up.
I get it.
That pink and white, it's my favorite combo. And actually, there was a time Jess Jackson from the Bear, I think we were reversed one time. She has a white shirt, pink bottoms. Was that the thing? We took a picture one day together because we were inversed of each other and stuff. But yeah, no, I do have a couple pink. I'll say this. I think real men are comfortable wearing pink.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I say that all the time. Real men wear pink. Jade's saying I didn't buy a Glue Crew hoodie because it was white. And you know what? I told him I didn't. That's the reason that I was like a little,
No, says he loves a white hoodie, but yet failed to purchase a Glue Crew hoodie.
Oh.
He's talking about me.
You.
Jay, I have one. It's at home. I just haven't worn it yet. Hey, Jay, calling me out here. Jay, I'm looking right at you. Jay, even though I haven't worn them yet, I have a Glue Crew hoodie and a Glue Crew baseball tee.
Ooh.
Don't come at me here, brah.
Yeah, and those baseball tees are nice. I love when men wear baseball tees. It's my favorite look. FYI.
I haven't put them on.
What's a baseball tee?
It's not
The
all the way
three-quarter
down.
long sleeve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the set.
Looser.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay.
Jay coming at me like that.
Everybody's calling me a bully.
Why are you? Because you're not wearing pink. Because the part of this, I'll say this. Part of this is if you don't say anything, no one notices that you're not wearing pink and it's Pink Shirt Day. But you had to be like, it's Pink Shirt Day. I'm not wearing pink.
No, but I just wanted to still point it out because I feel so bad. Everybody's wearing pink shirts, but I noticed nobody here. I would have reminded you guys if I was here, though. I want to give you guys a notice. So if you guys are headed out, put on something pink. Represent anti-bullying. I'm not a bully.
Hey, I have pink socks.
What a day.
I have pink socks on.
There you go.
I am doing it. Look at me go.
Bellezy, go home and change, by the way.
That's why he's taking so long. He had to go back and change.
Exactly.
Hey, look at that. I'm actually I didn't even realize that. I forgot
It's
that I
meant
put
to
on
be.
pink socks. It was.
Yeah.
At least someone in this room cares about anti-bully day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any pink?
I don't own pink. No, I
You
own.
don't own pink.
I own shades.
That are pink?
No, like grays and blacks and
Oh,
tans.
shades, not
Grays.
shades. I see.
You want to know something? Anything? Those can all just be worn together.
Exactly.
That's actually why I like the white clothing too, is that you could wear them with anything.
It's tough not to match when you only own 3 different shades.
I hate matching colors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
I used to have a whole bunch of like a whole hat collection, probably 50 or 60, and I would wear a different hat with different outfits. And I eventually got to a point where I just buy black hats now, and that's what I wear, and then I don't have to think about it.
I like that, though, that you would coordinate your hats with your outfit.
But then sometimes you'd miss and you'd get roasted. It's like, well,
Who's to roast? Just let me know.
oh,
Okay.
appreciate that.
Yeah, but if he's wearing the wrong colors, you wouldn't tell him he was wearing the wrong colors with each other.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, that's his point. He's worried that people will tell, like he'll
but-
clash.
Because I don't really.
And he doesn't want to be told that this is clashing.
Yeah.
Why is this clashing?
Oh, wow.
It's so much thought. I just want to brush my teeth, shower, put on my hat, and get out of the house, kind of thing, you know?
He doesn't want to be mocked for the fact that, well,
Yeah.
you're wearing that color with that. Those don't go together. That's what he's worried
God,
about.
Take a risk, though.
Oh no.
Who did this to you?
Well, it sounds like you might.
No.
You specifically said you might.
There he is.
Sean Bell is here.
Hello.
Brendan will go to the other
morning.
side of the camera now. Bellezy is in the house.
Great.
You're a godsend, by the way.
Why?
You made a pot of coffee.
Well, actually, so I've been making a pot of coffee for the last couple of weeks. It hasn't been here. No one's made it. So, and then other people have been drinking it. And today Eric made, I think. So I came in and I finished it off. And then he was going to go get some at the end of the show.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm out. And then I
gave
threw
you
him on.
credit.
Okay,
He
well,
thanked
but
me and I said, no, it's you.
well, it's a team effort between Eric and I.
Yeah.
You guys are both wonderful human beings.
On
You're
anti-bullying day.
It's anti-bullying day.
I heard. I was listening.
I've got pink.
I've got lots to talk about
Oh,
based off what you guys talked about.
oh, amazing.
Interesting.
So-
Sean Bell now with us here, by the way.
Yeah, because I've been
Just-
under a
I think
rock,
I've
so
said
this is nice. Yeah.
Well, I heard about the BBLs,
Okay.
and then I heard you guys talking about like
That's what you're
the
talking-
nasty chat, getting nasty, and talking about silly gooses and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Oh,
There's some
okay.
nasty stuff that happened in the sporting world that we should definitely talk
Ole Miss?
about. Yeah. Was it Ole Miss? Yeah.
The girl, the
Yeah,
dad.
yeah,
I was telling
yeah,
him about that.
yeah.
Okay, we're
And
gonna go
then
into that later. We're going into that
before
later.
we even get there. The fact that you got these Rubik's cubes and you can do a minute and 7 is outrageous.
Isn't
Yeah.
that?
And so the poll
Yeah.
for me is no, I can't do Rubik's cube. No chance in hell.
I'm like you.
I'm very disappointed. I forgot to bring the Rubik's cube today.
So am I.
We're doing this tomorrow.
I might tune in.
You don't tune in?
Usually I'm like working, so I'm gonna just carry my phone around
Jasmine
while I
works
work.
and she has us on all the time.
She's at a desk.
Yeah. Interesting.
Some of us aren't.
Jimmy, it's called AirPods. But whatever.
Yeah, you're right, Maddie. I'm gonna do that while I'm coaching. But you're right. Yeah.
Hold on,
One
you little
ear.
brats.
Hold on.
One ear.
Stop.
Somebody got called a silly
Stop
goose.
moving.
You
Yeah.
just go one ear.
Minute and 7. Back to practice. Let's go.
Film session room. There's gotta be something. Yeah, no, it's when he first said it, it was like was it with Reed? Or who were we talking with?
Might have been Jay.
Your mic turned up? I don't know if it
think
is.
so.
Yeah, okay, good. It was with okay. Because it was like hold on a second. You could do a Rubik's Cube. Like it was one of those pause the conversation. We need to discuss this quickly. And so it's something we're going to have to go give a try to. So I'm
Oh, boy.
fascinated by this. BBL, you want to get into the BBLs?
No, I don't. But it was part of the nasty comments and conversation that would now segue into our good friends in the SEC.
We're going to get to that one later.
That is,
We got to get to the Oilers first.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Jasmine,
waiting.
do you know the
Ooh.
story?
that's
No,
some
this
real,
is why
okay.
that's some real nasty
Okay.
talk then if we're going down this path.
I think we got to get to the Oilers first before we get to that
Okay.
story of the SEC because it's
story of the year.
It engulfed
Wow.
it got me yesterday on Twitter. Like I was doing the full search of Mary Kate and trying to read whatever I could find on this. And I was telling Brendan about it before the show today because he had not heard about it. And it was like, okay, this happened. Like,
Oh my gosh.
like
I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to fill me in on some tea.
It was jarring information at any time, but at 8:45 in the morning, it is quite a shocking thing to learn about.
Yeah, I learned about it at 5:30.
Yeah.
this morning?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
What?
Oh, see, I was reading about this all yesterday. It came across and I saw one tweet about something. I was like, okay, this is something I've got to read into it. And then there's part of me that wishes I hadn't.
Mind blown.
What? It's not even trending on Twitter.
It is.
Oh, it
Let
is.
me show you. I'll show you where
Oh,
it's
it
trending
is.
on Twitter. I'm sure it's trending on Twitter.
The suspense.
Oh, it's gone off. It's not there anymore.
Could be lawyers involved.
Well, you've got too much political stuff trending right now.
Well,
politics.
there was the liberal debate
It's-
yesterday.
There was.
Some things you got.
Oh, see, if you go to the For You, it's the second one, Mary
Okay.
Kate.
Okay.
And it's not about Mary Kate and Ashley. I'll just say that.
Oh, okay.
What?
Nothing I thought it was.
It's no, it's not about them.
Oh yeah, definitely
It's not about them. Let's get into the Oilers quickly here.
Okay.
Not quickly. Panic level 0 to 10. Where are we with the Oilers season at this moment? Jasmine?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm mad too. Obviously, it's like, come on, guys. They just there is no urgency. They seem tired. You asked me a question. Sorry, I should answer that first. The Oilers tend to do this. They come off a break. They lack chemistry. They lack whatever motivation. I'm not like sitting there like, oh my God. I mean, we are getting our asses handed to us. That's why I feel like the reason that's happening is because we're just not playing well.
But your panic level with this team is
We're playing
if
good
0
teams.
is fine, 10 is oh my God,
5.
master. You're in the middle.
I'm middle. Like, just wait. Like, Florida's a big deal because we should hate Florida no matter what. We should be after them. You know, Kachuk's out. We have to win tomorrow, but if we don't, well, something's got to change. We're on a road trip. 4 Nations, 2-week break. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not pissed. I feel like they just need a little,
A little smacking.
yeah, that's right. A reset even. Yeah.
Okay, so how do I feel about it? I would originally I was going to say a 5 like you, but I'm not panicking. I'm just like, I'm kind of pissed.
Because you're not seeing the effort.
Yeah. Like you're a first place team, or you were a first place team.
Exactly.
And you've every team in the league. And so, you know, some teams are using it's a 4 Nations hangover and stuff like that. But there's like 32 teams in the NHL. And you've just played 3, and not one of those teams use that excuse. So why are you all of a sudden coming out with such lackluster efforts when the reality is that you were on vacation, you took time off, you did whatever to kind of recharge the body, recharge the mind. You should be now coming out of the gates hot. And you look at it and you're like, how are you not coming out of the gates hot? Like, it looks to me like you could give a flying blank about playing in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Or games. Sorry.
Yeah, like a lot of them were on vacation. Skinner was taking care of his kids. He said he didn't go anywhere, which could be problematic as well. Perhaps you did need a vacation, honey. Although he is also getting kind of stripped out there, and like nobody's protecting him either at the same time. Like everybody's playing terrible. The forwards are, defense obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard because like I think obviously in North America they've never done like those national team breaks, quote unquote. It's usually an all-star game, couple days, boom, you're back.
Mm-hmm.
National team breaks in Europe, if you play in those leagues, they're the exact same time frame. And guys go on vacation all the time. So I've actually have experience with this whole thing because I've gone and done my vacations. I think one year me and my now wife ended up in Rome. I was in Budapest. Like, we've done different things, so I understand where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and this is probably why I'm a little bit pissed off about it, is because I know that right away you get back into it and you're rolling. Because now you're at a point in the season where everything matters.
Yeah.
Like you trying to get first place, it's something that you want, it matters.
Yeah. Keep it.
Right? You're close to the trade deadline. You're trying to figure out who can be part of the lineup, who's not going to be in the lineup. Can I solidify my spot in the lineup? It matters. And the fact that they've come out and it's just like, oh, yawn. It's a massive concern. It's a massive concern. And I don't think there's one person you can pinpoint and say, that's the reason why.
100%.
And I know that, like, you know, after games, everybody's going after Skinner. And hey, rightfully so. Has he been good? No, he has not. But there's so many other pieces as well that are right there with him that it's a collective. It's not just one singular person. And it's easy to blame that one person, but it is legitimately a collective of just crap.
What's your level of panic quickly, Brendan?
Not
0 to 10? Where are you?
2, 3.
Wow.
I don't know. They'll figure it out.
Exactly.
It's the Oilers.
They're
They do
Oilering.
this.
Oilers are Oilering.
Yeah,
That's what I say. Yeah.
Maybe call me jaded. I don't know.
Legit.
If you're Jeff Jackson, Stan Bowman, does this change how you're approaching next Friday?
Perhaps.
Like that's the only, like, is this one where you're looking at it and going, we actually should make a few more moves than we're planning? Or is this, should they take the same mentality, which is like, Kate, no, everything is kind of, we'll be fine. We can't do any sort of panic stuff in advance next Friday. That's something I'll be fascinated to go see. I also just wonder, part of this is just how much is it the team, they don't care about the regular season. This is the motions. This is just
true.
They're ready to turn it on once the playoffs begin.
Yeah, but you can't. It's too hard to do that.
Yeah.
Name another team that you can remember that's gone on to win a Stanley Cup that just like, flick, it's gone on.
Right, but they don't need to turn it on just yet. Like we're still really.
I'm going to debate you on
season.
this because.
But like, don't you need to get it going like at some point in March? Do you really need to get it going?
No, because you want to get to a spot where you're feeling good about your game, because then it snowballs. So let's go to the last 5 Stanley Cup winners. Last year, Florida won. Was there ever a moment where you're like, they flicked the light switch on and said, now we got to wake up? No, from start to finish, they were the best team. The year before that, I believe it was Vegas. From start to finish, they were the best team. The year before that, it was Colorado. From start to finish, they were the best team. The year before that, who was it? Because I don't remember.
Okay, so we had Florida. You had Florida, Vegas, Colorado, Lightning, I believe it was.
Yeah, both of those teams went start to finish. There was never a moment that they were like, oh, we should wake up today and like, let's get it going. They said in their minds, we're going to be the best team. We're cup contenders. We're going after it this entire season. And they felt good about their entire game, and it snowballed. There's confidence all over the ice. The players that may or may not be fourth line guys, all of a sudden, because they're playing well, they feel good. They're contributing. You don't see that with the others. You see Draisaitl contributing
every time.
You see McDavid outside of these last little stretch contributing. But who else can you really sit there and say like, man, that guy has been playing lights out. He's overachieving. We don't get that here at Edmonton for whatever odd reason, because they do think it is, well, we don't care about this. It's light switch moment.
Yeah, it's a momentum team, right? We always based on momentum.
Oh, sorry. Vegas was 2-8 the year they won the Stanley Cup. They had a stretch of 2-8
to start.
No, middle of the season.
Okay.
In January, they were 2-8 in that month.
Do you think McDavid should have played against the Flyers?
No.
Right.
I thought he should have taken a break.
That was just a bad game.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so against Vegas when they had
Panthers
their cup,
had no
had
hiccups.
nothing.
The Panthers had no hiccups.
So they
last
were
year.
consistent.
They were when I'm looking at this, like I'm just on Wikipedia looking at their schedule, and I'm not seeing a large. Like I'm seeing a lot of green.
Yeah,
it's green for wins, red for loss, white for overtime loss.
Yeah.
Vegas, that was the stretch. So that's how quickly I'm trying to do this.
Yeah.
I'm into Colorado right now. Those are all. Oh wow, that's a long winning streak that they had. Yeah, Colorado was
nothing.
It was to end the season. Okay, well, I'll go with this. To end their season, the year they won the playoffs.
That little blip.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They lost 6 of their last 7.
Fair.
They lost 4 straight, beat St. Louis, lost to Nashville in overtime, lost to Minnesota to end their season.
Yeah.
So they went into the playoffs limping. I would say, on that one.
Fair.
And
Yeah.
then went off on
But outside of that, they were rolling the whole year.
the whole
Yeah.
season. It's like there was a stretch here. February in January they were 15-0-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the Oilers 2 seasons ago. I think it was 2 seasons ago with the year Vegas won. I think it was that one where the Oilers were like, well, yeah, when they got Ekholm, they're like 15-2-1 or something.
Yeah.
Down the stretch.
Yeah.
They didn't win the Stanley Cup, and that's where, like, I don't know. This team does like their backs up against the wall, though.
Yes, that's true.
It's
Don't they?
Yeah.
the worst though.
They're their worst enemy.
They are.
Yeah.
They're their worst enemy. It's the having that mentality, saying like we have to get our backs up against the wall to finally play well. That is not a good mentality.
No, but it's
That's how
like
we roll.
when I was in school. Sometimes, like when I got to high school and stuff, I was the best when an assignment was due the next day. I'd have 2 weeks to do it.
I would say
and then the
most
next day
people
was
are.
coming,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, no, and then I would do my best work. I could have done this for 2 weeks, but pressure's now on. Okay, let's get going.
But have you ever done it where you're like, I'm ahead of the schedule, and how good you feel when you can sit back and be like,
Yeah, but
"Man,
then it's
I did that stuff already. Now I'm watching you have to try to work to try to figure it
But
out.
then you begin to slack when you're like so far ahead.
Yeah,
too,
but then
'cause you're
it's-
like, I got space.
I used to be that. Through like junior high and stuff, I'd be the guy that actually got things done early. Then I slipped into screw that. Let's do it late. I don't need to rush on this.
I'm like
Maybe
you
that's who the
though.
Oilers.
Pressure. I work
Maybe they like the
well under
pressure.
pressure.
Pressure is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And pressure, caves some people and other people. But the point is that you shouldn't have to have your back up against the wall for you to then perform. Like you also can't in the exact same breath of that be like, well, we want to finish first and get home ice advantage. Well,
I don't
those
say
two-
that, though.
But they did.
I know.
Those two things don't equal out.
Yes.
If you want first place and get home ice advantage, well, then you got to come out swinging every single night.
I would say home ice throughout the playoffs is not happening.
Can I read this stat? I think it's accurate. It says Prez says the Oilers against the top 2 teams in each division this season are 1-8-2 record, 0.182 points percentage, outscored 45-27, minus 18 goal differential.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's
No.
not.
But the playoffs
Sucks.
are, to me, always a different beast, and I'll judge this team once they
Yeah.
kind of get to the playoffs. Yeah, so the Oilers, they sit 13 points back of Winnipeg for top spot in the West.
Yeah.
12 back of Washington for top spot from out there. And the reason I'd say that one is if the West meets the East,
Yeah.
that type of thing. They're not catching up
No.
to those two. So it's going to be hard to guarantee that they're going to have it throughout. They are still only 2 points back, though, of Vegas for the Pacific Division.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
thing with
there
all
for the
this.
taking.
The division
Yeah.
is there. It
It's,
might not be the Western Conference Final or the Stanley Cup Final necessarily rolling for
Yeah.
Edmonton, though.
It's just the fact that you have such a good team, and the way that they finished before the break, they were rolling. And then you come into the new part of the season, let's just call it. Now you've come out flat, and you're like, really? Like, to me, it's just all these other teams are gearing up. Why are you guys coming out so flat? Like, you guys are acting like it's exhibition. These teams are acting like, oh, we're back in the season.
Except Draisaitl.
Except for Draisaitl. And
I would say
Draisaitl's
Draisaitl's been.
was visibly upset.
He's the only one that, like, he has come
He's
out.
scoring right away.
Yeah, he's coming out and looking great
Yeah.
through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you attribute that to, though, with this team? Because Dash was on yesterday, and I threw away the piece of paper. He had a thing of just the last few years. The Oilers coming to start a season after an All-Star break has not been good.
No, they've always been crappy.
Exactly.
What would you attribute that to?
Well, Tommy and I talk about it lots, actually. And
Hello Hockey Saturdays tend to.
no, not even on Hello Hockey,
okay.
but thank you for the plug. I think that there's a bit of them that says we can play our way out of anything because we have the 2 best players in the world. I think there's a bit of, Bouchard's a 80-point defenseman. He can help us get out of this. I think there's a lot of that with this team.
The Ferns.
Yeah. And I think that there's the ability because they've showcased the fact that they've been able to do it. However, teams there's never going to be an easy night when you play, when the Oilers play, because everybody is like, okay, that was a team that was 1 win away from the Stanley Cup. We better give them our best. And so if you're the Oilers, that's kind of like, it's a double-edged sword because now you have to try to be on every single night. And the reality is most players aren't going to be on every single night. But at the same time, you should be utilizing that to help your game so that when you do get to the playoffs, you can deal with everything.
This may be the stupidest thing ever.
Yep.
So please tell me it's the stupidest thing.
Okay.
What about sitting McDavid and Draisaitl for a night together?
Oof.
Are you okay?
Well, forcing the team to realize that those two guys aren't there. You pick the game against
I
the
like
Ducks or something.
where your
like
head's
the idea,
at.
Like
that's
you're
where
punishing
I
the
know.
team?
Well, no, it's you can't like. There's this deference of okay, we're down 2-0. Well, we got McDavid and Leon. At least. We got McDavid and Leon. If they weren't in the lineup, how would this team respond? How would this team play, knowing that they don't have Leon or McDavid? And would there be a spot on the calendar where you could sit there and be like, hey, we're going to do load management for the night type thing, Connor? And again, that may be the stupidest idea, and I get people. But
It's
you understand
not.
where I'm coming from?
I fully understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't do it, however.
Is there a way
at the
to
same
do it,
time?
though?
But
Is there a way to go in and be like, these guys are playing less minutes tonight?
You're not going to let that happen.
you could probably pick a game on the schedule and literally give them less minutes
Like, is
and
that
make other guys
where
do
you
it.
say straight up, like, we've got, again, I'm just using Ducks next week type thing. We're going to, Leon and Connor, we're capping their minutes tonight at 18.
You could do it, but those two won't want you to do it.
I know.
And
And how do you look like to the rest of the league? It looks like you're having problems.
Well, you're
within
trying
the-
to kick. So, well, they already know that. They're seeing the Oilers lose.
yeah, the whole league already knows that the others have problems.
And it
So-
doesn't matter about what the league thinks.
You're-
I'm just sure if the players are constantly deferring and like because that's something we've heard for a couple of years is that maybe sometimes when things are tough, they just too often go, well, Connor and Leon are going to fix things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there not a situation where you have to try to do it? Because you can't do this obviously in the playoffs for sure, but it's not on them tonight, boys. It's on you guys. We need you guys to pick it up because it can't be on Connor and Leon. You need to learn how to pick it up. Is there any way
If you solidify a
doing
playoff
that
spot
somehow?
early, then there's times down the stretch that you could probably do it.
But wouldn't they already know that, oh, well, we're in the playoffs anyways, doesn't matter? Like, do you not
Yeah,
need
but
it where it's
you're
meaningful?
trying to gear up for playoffs. So
Okay.
if you pulled those guys out to say, hey, we're kickstarting the rest of you guys, like you guys need to figure this out.
Besides game 82.
Besides game 82, like don't put it in that stretch. So if you clinch, let's say playoff spot with 15 games to go,
Yeah.
I would pick one of those first 5 and do that. And then after that, try to get the guys rolling for the next 10.
Or could you split them up? Would that have kind of a similar effect? If Leon was in one game and Connor was in the other, do you think the players would still defer to one of those guys, or do both?
They always would. Yep.
Okay.
Because Connor and Leon make their teammates better. That's what they do. The other piece of the puzzle is, and this is just my opinion, so hopefully just keep it that way. But I try not to rip the Oilers too much because obviously those are NHL players. There's NHL teams. Those are the best players on the planet. In my opinion, the Oilers are too soft. They're too soft.
Why? Okay, this is going to be my question to you guys. Why is Knobloch calling them delicate, but you're saying that they're soft? I was like, don't call this team delicate. You were
I'm sorry,
number one in the division.
Did he say that? When did he
He
say
said that
that?
they're fragile.
Fragile.
yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
We use the word fragile.
Yeah.
What a bad word to use against your team.
He's saying from a mental standpoint, they're
One bad thing
fragile,
goes off
and
and
then they just tank it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're soft.
I think a
don't-
lot of people would agree with that.
I don't think that there's anybody in that lineup or on that lineup, maybe outside of Darnell Nurse, that is going to drag that team into the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
This is where you miss Kane.
yeah, it is a little bit where you miss Kane. Draisaitl, obviously, he's playing, he's going hard, and he can't be the only guy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
McDavid will from time to time. Darnell, you don't want him fighting because he's valuable on the defensive end. But outside of that, and maybe I'll give Corey Perry a bit of a pass too. But outside of that, name another player that will literally say, okay, we're playing like crap today. I'm going to go run somebody and try to put them in the 15th row of the stands
Mm-hmm.
to stir it up, to get everybody going, to get some energy. Because most of the time when they play, they're listless. There's no emotion. They're dead. So name a player that's going to go in there and like just throw an absolute grenade into the plans and say, well, boys, we better show up now.
All right, so that I think goes to the record of the Oilers and when they fight.
Yeah, but
I don't know what the record is.
it can't be about fighting.
No, I know,
right?
but I
Like,
think that shows the like.
yeah,
when they have shown emotion, when they have shown that physicality now to the next level of fighting, they produce, they win. It shouldn't have to be a fight.
Yeah.
But where's that emotional aspect? So is that the number one thing Bowman and Jackson need to get done for Friday?
I think they do.
It's some sort of toughness.
I think they just need some physicality. I think they need guys that can go in there and just make lives miserable for the opposing team.
Mm-hmm.
Can you bank on Kane being that guy? Or is that too risky? And the reason I say risky, like not have, like, we don't know what he looks like post injury.
Right.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's where I don't know what can Evander Kane be that Evander Kane that everyone's imagining? I don't know if he physically is going to, like, based on his injuries and when he comes back and if he's going to be able to catch up to speed. Can you bank on that though if you're the Oilers? Or do you
can't bank on it because you need more than one or two guys.
Okay.
You need to have guys that, like, man, I don't want to play. The worst thing, and I try to tell my team this all the time. I'm like, guys, when you play the game, hockey is a violent game. It's a physical game by nature. I'm not telling you you have to go kill guys. I'm not telling you that. But I am telling you that you need to go earn it. And the worst thing that could possibly happen, and I will give you an example after, is that as a defenseman, I've got to now turn, go pick up a puck, and then my lips are going to touch the glass every single time I touch the puck. That is the worst thing you could possibly experience as a defenseman, because eventually now panic plays are happening. And if you look at some clips from when the Panthers were in that run last year, and I don't remember if it was against the Oilers, if it was against Rangers or whatever it was, but Maurice, there's a clip where he starts screaming at his team and he goes, knock off the pretty stuff, go out and get the pucks deep and pound their blanking defensemen so that it pays off for game 7. And well, if you watch the Panthers, the way that they played, there was some skill on that team. Like you'd be delusional to sit there and look at the Panthers and say, Tkachuk's not skilled, Barkov's not skilled, Reinhardt's not skilled. There is legitimate skill on that hockey team, but there was a whole lot of sandpaper in the bottom 6, and they made you earn everything. So I'm not trying to rip the Oilers, but they need some of it.
The other thing too, though, is how do they fix this penalty kill? Is this like the penalty kill was good for a part of this season? Started off poor. It's had some struggles recently.
Yep.
Do they need to go make additions to the penalty kill, or is that is that difficult to do, to come in and have someone new coming in trying to learn this penalty kill system?
They need some guys that are willing to eat pucks.
Okay.
And like it's the exact same system that they played last year. It's the same system that they played through the playoffs last year. And in the playoffs, they were lights out. And I would argue that it was more valuable than the power play in some stretches of the season last year. So it's the exact same thing. So you need some personnel that are willing to accept that, okay, I'm going to block this shot and I'm going to do everything in my power not to let that happen. So that's what I think of the Oilers.
Joe and Smitty the Welder, they're basically blaming Knobloch. They're saying that he just says soft. He makes the team soft. He doesn't believe in physicality.
Knobloch isn't the guy that brought those players in.
Yeah. I like the demeanor for the most part of Chris Knobloch. There have been times this season I wish you would see a little more emotion from him to get the guys in check.
Fair.
But I also like the calm coach, because when things, let's just fast forward, Western Conference Final, Game 6, an elimination game, the team falls down 2-0 in the second. I want a coach that's calm personally. I want a coach that has that calm demeanor and is methodical. And sometimes you could have, if that coach is too crazy, it might actually derail the team a little bit. I like that soft demeanor and stuff. But I think there are times where you have to come out. When you have that soft demeanor, I do believe there are times where you have to not be as soft. And you have to show a little bit of more emotion. Mm-hmm. And I think we're at that point right now. I would like to see him, and not necessarily call out the players, but in some regards, yell at a player on the bench or something, or in the post-game press conference, be a little more pissed off. Mm-hmm. Although for the most part, I do like the demeanor of Chris Knobloch. I think it's the right mentality this team needs as a coach.
I think that
overall,
like I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, teams take on the personality of their coach. It happens all through sports. Mm-hmm. And so maybe the Oilers need a little bit more snarl. So maybe that he does need to come in and be fiery, because like Coffee is a pretty calm, cool, collected guy. Stewart is, Knobloch is, Gulson definitely is. So it's like maybe that's part of it. Just they're just okay. Well, he doesn't get too emotional. He doesn't get fired up. He's pretty even keel the whole time. But you look down the road to Jasmine's hometown, and the Vancouver Canucks, they're a snarly team. That's how they try to play. Their coach, he was all snarl.
Flip side is with Rick Tocchet and stuff, and what I would view with those coaches is you're going to be successful for a couple of seasons, or maybe, and then the next season you're not going to.
Well, you have a shelf life.
You're not going to get it as long.
Life. Yeah.
Now that said, with the Oilers, they have a shelf life as a coach here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what type of demeanor, how you coach, you got a shelf life.
Exactly. But Maurice's teams have been ultra successful everywhere he's gone. And they all play the same way. Even back when he was in Winnipeg, they were a big, physical, skilled hockey team. Yes, they couldn't figure it out in the playoffs, but like that has been his MO, and he's a bit of a snarly coach. Like he's got some fire. He creates relationships with the players, so they will do anything to play for him. So like there's that fine line of what you're trying to do. But I do think that a lot of teams end up taking the personality of their coach. And no, they do not need 90s Mike Keenan. That is like, no, mental warfare at its finest, unless you want players quitting.
I will, like, to answer the question I asked a bit earlier, I'm not panicked or worried about the Oilers at all.
Right.
Largely because I actually do think they'll turn it on in the playoffs.
100%.
I do believe that.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to judge this team. We're not going to look back. Like the Oilers get knocked out in the second round. They get knocked, let's say, first round to the LA Kings. We're not looking at this stretch. We're going to be pissed about that period of time. We're going to be pissed about those 4 to 7 games that they're going to have lost to the LA Kings. Or if they go on and win the Stanley Cup or something. Like we're not going to be viewing the regular season much. And to me, I've always said the regular season doesn't largely matter. The Oilers are going to be in the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. So now it's, can they turn it on at the right point? And I do believe that for the most part, I believe they will be able to. The concerns I have right now will be, unless I see some changes there, like can Stuart Skinner get to a little bit of a better level? This is a bad stretch he's on right now.
Absolutely.
He needs to be better. And, you know, a guy like Evan Bouchard needs to be better. Like, and that's part of that is it a McDavid thing? Like, just not producing as much on the power play that's hurting Evan Bouchard, or is it Evan Bouchard that's kind of hurting that power play or whatever? But he doesn't have a goal in the power play this year. And the power play needs to be a little bit better going to the playoffs.
Stop giving away the puck.
But for the most part, like, I think once we get to the playoffs, this team will be fine.
Yeah, I agree with you. Exactly. Like, they will turn it up. Like, it's going to be fine. I'm not here to make excuses, but you know what? They did have a road trip to the East. We're playing teams that we don't normally play all the time. They were early morning starts. Like, I'm not making excuses, but it is a little not like our normal scheduling, and you know, so it's whatever. They're good teams too. Like, they'll be fine. Everybody relax.
Jasmine, I love you. I do. I really, really do. But that, like, you are a pro athlete. Your whole world is to wake up, play a game,
and dig in.
Eat something, go to bed, wake up, go play hockey. Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, I really do, because it is hard. Like 11 o'clock start, 8 o'clock start. You're used to this particular time, but like, let's be honest. Those guys eat so well. They have chefs in their locker room. They prepare their bodies better than the before. I'm going to say stuff about like the 80s. The 80s guys were smoking. They were doing all those different things. They were treating their bodies like an amusement park. And these guys don't necessarily do those things. Like, it's chartered. They're crazy. It's not commercial flights. Well conditioned. There is zero reason why they shouldn't be ready to go. Okay. And so, going back to this whole thing with your question of where the panic is, it's still a 5 for me. But the problem is I just don't. If you're going to lose a game and you play well, I think a lot of people would be like, oh, okay, you lost because of like this little error here, that little error here. What the problem is that like the doors are getting blown off you every single night because you're not there. Because the team was just a little bit better that given night. Yeah. Not you were trashed tonight. Yep.
Doesn't matter how the other team was. You were
Yep.
trash. That's what you're wanting to see. Prez says last 10 game team records. Oilers 4-5-1, Vegas 4-4-2, Kings 5-3-2, Caps 5-2-3, and the Canes 4-5-1. So all rather similar. Yeah, we'll see. I didn't. Wasn't a full joke. To me, I partly could see it happening. I said that yesterday that the Oilers would go 0-4 to start this trip. They'll go to Carolina. Everyone will think it's over. 0-5, terrible, and they're going to go win that game and start rattling off a bunch of victories. That's who this team
Very,
is.
very high likelihood of
That's
that.
who this team is. Type
Exactly.
thing.
That's exactly right.
We shall see. And then we can. What is it? 10 days away from the deadline, or is it 9 days?
Like if these games are
7, 8,
close,
9 days. This next Friday.
like would you be more concerned if they were close?
Yeah, I'm just laughing at a text here. Abutski 05. First, he tells me I know my stuff, and then he goes, except for the Rouge, me and Tommy are out to lunch on that. First of all, my take is a little bit different than Tommy's full out.
Yeah, Bellezy with the Rouge is open to a discussion. If there was negotiations between pro Rouge and anti Rouge type thing, there's ground to be had.
Yes.
This isn't, and with Tommy, there's just the Rouge sucked. No.
I try to discuss my point and why I think it's not worthwhile. So I talk about it. So thank you. I appreciate the, I think that's called a blank sandwich. Butter them up.
Well,
Yeah, and then, yeah, I
it's
just
coming
learned
after-
that yesterday, to be honest.
He's coming at you for
Yeah.
one thing. By the way, portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they're brought to you by Lloydstat Insurance Brokers, one of Alberta's largest and most trusted independent insurance brokerages. If you're looking for insurance for your business, be sure to connect with fellow nasty Kevin Bondel, Lloydstat.com for more information. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, enough of the Oilers.
Why?
Okay, you want to get to the SEC thing? Is that what you're...
Yes.
Okay. This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Sean Bell, Jasmine Sidhu, Matt Iwanyk, as well as Brendan the intern on the other side of the camera here with you on Edmonton Sports Talk, a clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Reminder today, we do got the lock shop. Dusty's going to be live at Boston Pizza's in the Mayo Center. And then it's the Oil Stream. Dusty and Tommy. I don't know if Tommy will make it out there or if he'll be from his studio at home as he was under the weather. Well, yesterday he's saying he got what you had, which didn't look good, and you were ill last week too. So, so I don't know if he'll make it to the Mayo or not, but Dusty will be at the Mayo Center. What is it, 97th Street, 167th Ave, something like that. It's right by where I used to live, actually. We've got EST Afternoons. We got the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Mill, all to come as well here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Okay, we got to be delicate with this.
Have you
read any reading? Have you done any reading? You haven't noticed it.
I want you guys to tell me.
Okay.
I just saw a headline.
Do you want to go into it?
I think we can do this together.
And it
Okay,
looks
I will let
wild.
you take the lead, and I will jump in if there's something that I...
Okay, so I woke up this morning at 5:15. I go downstairs. I start perusing through Twitter because I'm trying to actually find clips for goals of the week that are coming out today for the Hello Hockey. Check those out on Twitter. That's my plug. And then I see this story, and it's a picture of this old dude, and I'm like, what's this? Because somebody was, I can't remember, it was like, you can't come back for it or whatever the caption was. And I was like, oh, okay, I need to dive into this. So click on it.
Was he
and
cute though?
No, he was an old, he was just, I'll find it.
I'll have
find
the
it.
picture
I know.
of the guy.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna pull it up after you tell
Okay,
me
I've
this.
got
Yeah.
various things to show.
Okay,
So-
awesome. Yeah.
We're not going to show them on the YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah.
Figure it out yourself.
Yeah, this is
Mary
not
Kate
that
on
type
Twitter.
of platform.
We're not doing this
Yeah.
one.
I'm sorry.
We aren't that
interrupted
nasty.
you.
It's okay.
Like, is it
Anyway,
cute?
so then
Cute though?
I dive into this thing,
Yeah.
and there he is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so I dive into it, and I find out that this guy has had relations with his son's girlfriend, who looks like that.
How old is she?
Well, she's university. So you're talking 19 to 22-ish.
Holy-
And not just one
Miss.
time,
Okay.
multiple times. And then when the boyfriend found out, he decided to go back and stay with her.
What the hell? What the hell? What's wrong with you people?
What do you mean, you people?
I know.
What do you mean?
Are you talking about us? Talking
Like-
about this story? Or are you talking about the guy?
I mean, the father.
Okay.
And the son.
Yeah, that one.
I mean, she is a kind of a bombshell, but like. I mean,
Well,
she
he is
is-
married, so I'll just do that.
And that too.
So there's a Snapchat
Yeah.
of like break. I'm not reading that. I'm sorry, I'm not reading that. Actually, maybe I will read
You
that
should
one. on
reread
there.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
It doesn't
there was
seem
a
bad.
Snapchat on.
Okay.
That was also posted because this is a wild story. Like this is
wild.
SEC Twitter too. Everyone's
This is
relating
why
to
it's,
SEC
this is why it's
Twitter.
so big because it's part of the SEC
country.
Yeah,
It's
but
Ole
isn't
Miss.
he a football player too?
I think he's a football player.
Yeah, so
I
this
think
is why
so.
it's sports worthy.
So this is from Snapchat that somebody screenshotted. So basically, and I'm gonna read this word first, so I'll add those. It was over winter break. I guess she like went to a basketball game with her boyfriend's dad to go watch her boyfriend's like younger sister play basketball. I don't bleep out. And then they went to a dinner together and she got really drunk like with him. And it was literally just the two of them. And then they ended up going back to like her boyfriend's house. And I don't know where her boyfriend was in all this. And they had sex apparently in her boyfriend's bed. So her and her dad's boyfriend had sex. And then that's like kind of the end of it, I guess. And then she told her best friend. And then somehow her boyfriend found out about it. Like kind of like the likes. Sorry.
I know, like
kind of early on. And then her best friend told, I don't know, everyone or somebody. I think it was her boyfriend. And then he like took a screenshot of the voice memo and then it just went from there. And now everyone knows and it's an absolute show. She had to get taken out of the dorm today, like incognito. Like she had sunglasses on and like a sweatshirt, like a hoodie on over her head. And the cops had to like take her away. And then the boyfriend had been locked in his room all day. And like neither of them could talk to anyone. It's an awful story, but it's fun. It's so funny. And no, she's not in my story. She's in another one, but it's so interesting because everything is true. And then there's another Snapchat that is out there that explains like, she went home early from school because I guess she like finished her exams early. These likes are wild.
I know, this is funny.
Maddie talking like an 18-year-old girl is wild.
He's just a bit
Okay, well,
like,
let's go.
Yeah.
Mary Kate went home from school early, and I guess she like finished her exams early and went to go watch Evan's little sister in her basketball game and went with the dad. And then they dropped the sister off at home like after the basketball game, and they went to like dinner. And dinners was like buying her stuff, and like then they like got with each other or something. And then that was like the first time. And then I don't know how Evan the boyfriend found out, but I know he did, and he was like upset about it. And then like Mary Kay, like she told him she'll never do it again because she's like bleep liar. I'm sorry, and so and then there's a block there. But the mom knows, and she's like not getting fully divorced because like the dad is like cheating on her before like multiple times. Like why? But so bad.
Very good.
Thank you.
Wow.
That made it better. when
I'll
you
never
did
get that 30 seconds back in my life.
No.
But this is like
Holy.
crazy.
It's blown up.
that. What's wrong with
I also
the
feel-
dad?
Boyfriend's bed is nuts.
Yeah, like that fantasy that he wanted
Yeah.
to fulfill.
I feel bad for the girl in this in one way that this is all blowing up across the international like.
This guy's never playing football again. It's
Oh,
over.
he's getting ripped.
It's over. Like he is not a football player
How
any,
big
any
of a-
longer.
Like, how big of a how big of a bitch ass do you look like to go back to your girl that she, like, you do? Yeah. I would have no respect for you. If you were my friend, I would have zero respect for Big. You're a, yeah.
But then there's the
I can say a lot of
dad.
bad words. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the dad doing this, it's like, how do you do that?
To your son. How?
Nah.
But then, and now that the fact that
Well,
this
you
is
see
fully
her.
playing out.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, somebody
I mean,
tweeted
even I
at
would
us.
be like,
Send the
"What's up,
link for
girl?"
the story on Twitter. Okay, yeah, send the link for this story. Just honestly,
Just
on
go-
Twitter, if you're on Twitter, Mary Kate.
Yeah.
That's what you search. You'll find what you need to find.
I want to
Oh,
see the
man.
boyfriend. Let's see his
Oh,
bitch
I could
ass.
find his
Yeah.
picture.
Like I think that's an auto shed. The minute you find out, it's auto shed, meaning gloves are coming off.
Yeah.
With your dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like
Yeah, exactly. I would brawl. Like get into
unless
it. Like,
unless this is where the nasty part comes in.
Oh.
Unless you're into that kind of stuff.
We already said Ole Miss. I mean, if there's
It
a
is
place,
Ole Miss.
oh my
There's a place.
goodness.
Yeah.
She's definitely cheating on him again. I'll tell you that.
She is like.
And she's gonna be very rich, by the way, because she's gonna get some.
Well, it depends
endorsements
how
for
she
this.
goes around. If she
Yeah.
can she's either going in hiding and she's gonna have a tough time getting jobs moving forward. Like this,
Are you
this,
curious?
this is gonna always pop up.
She's gonna be hot to a 2.0.
Well, I said, or she's going full OnlyFans route,
100%.
and she's going that way, and she's cashing in.
She's cashing in. She's very good looking. This
it's insane. Like, but I'm sorry.
I don't
Bye
want
bye
to read
football.
about this. I don't want to know about this.
I didn't want to either, but I went down the
once
rabbit
I read
hole.
it, it's like I have to know
Yeah.
more about this.
Yeah.
I want to know more. I want to figure out more. I want to hear more about
But
this
yet
story.
the family dynamics though must be wild though, because like I think the bad guy here has to be the father.
Oh,
Without
easily.
question.
He's the adult here, and he's
This is also like you're dealing with like a 20-year-old or something,
totally
Yeah.
and you've got your
Yeah.
minimum 45.
That guy
Minimum.
ain't
No,
45.
that
That
guy
guy is
is
like
50.
50.
I know, but minimum.
and he's not
like-
even a full zaddy. Right?
A what?
Yeah.
Zaddy.
The
What'd you
blank did you just say?
He's not even
Zaddy?
a full like zaddy.
What is that?
You know what a zaddy is?
No.
We gotta get like the actual Urban
Oh my
Dictionary
God.
term for it.
Oh my,
Come on, there's zaddies out there, right?
oh my God.
Because at first you could be like, oh, he's a zaddy too, right? But you're like, he's not even close.
Typically, according to Urban Dictionary,
my
typically
heavens.
a guy who's older than you but says sexy AF. I'm not going to read the second sentence. Let's just say, when you're thinking about him, things happen. You even consider having his baby. Spoils you rotten, treats you right, and I won't even finish that one.
Because he's also got the money.
I can't wait till my zaddy gets here. We're going shopping, then to eat, then later we're going to do some things. And I didn't read it all. I'm going to let you guys, don't read those on air. But the second sentence, the last sentence.
Oh my
and then the, like,
heavens.
No, the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah, there's a few things in there that I'm not
yeah.
reading. Zaddy, Z-A-D-D-Y, Urban
Yeah.
Dictionary. Go take a look at that.
That's actually the perfect definition.
So
I mean, some of that has to be partly true if you read the end of it.
it's.
Well, he clearly did that to her.
In the bed, in the son's bed.
Oh my
The
God.
audacity of these people. This whole story, the fact that he went back to her, I find actually the wildest part. Sure, the dad is scummy, but like, how could you look at her the same?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Kissing her goodnight, saying I love you.
Yeah, ugh.
Dude.
Your dad just hit
Don't
that?
go there.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of
Yeah.
a clip from Step Brothers. You know, what if she's in the house now? She's had a run at the old bull. Now she wants a shot at the young cat.
Yes. That's exactly what I said.
Oh my God.
Like, the self-esteem on this guy must be so poor and so low, and that probably stems into his childhood of how he was treated and stuff.
I don't.
You know?
Again, I don't know. I wish I didn't know this story.
The wildest story I feel of the year.
It's an early contender.
The reason I came up, I saw the whole thing because it was Antonio Brown's Twitter that had the picture and he said something of the year. That's what it was. That's why I was like, who is this that Antonio Brown is now going after?
Well, and for me,
That's
I
why
saw
it
it. There was a tweet just of like something about SEC controversy. And I'm always like, I'm always good for an SEC controversy.
Is
And-
he? Sorry.
And when I click, and then I was like, oh, okay, I now know this. Guess
Yeah.
I'm diving in.
Down the rabbit hiil we go.
Yeah, it's one of those. Once you know one part of it, then you're just like, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to know the rest, but I have
man.
to. I have to.
Yeah.
He's a player on the team?
Apparently.
Yeah. That's why this was so like sports worthy.
Yeah.
Like that guy is not playing football again.
Yeah,
Could you imagine him walking in that room?
Even like...
The way she goes, it was well done. It's perfect.
Like a quick chant of who's your daddy?
Well, and it's not even that. It's even just the
Right?
other team.
I
And
know.
you line up,
Oh
and
my
the other
God.
team, they're knowing
Like my
which
dad
number you
wants
are.
a shot too.
Yeah, like...
They know the number. Okay, which we're going after that one right there, guys. He's over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Too much.
It's this Bill Belichick, this texters.
It's the Bill Belichick.
It's this Bill Belichick.
Oh, is this Bill Belichick?
Yeah. It's
Good.
apparently
It's so
they've
good.
discussed marriage.
Bill Belichick?
I've read that. I read that apparently the two of them have discussed marriage.
Oh my God.
Those guys have a mutual understanding. It's an agreement to their relationship.
They don't even talk.
They don't talk. You've seen them.
I want to know
and
what
about.
happens when the two of them are together out for
No,
dinner.
you don't.
Yes, I do.
I mean,
Bill
just-
Belichick and his girlfriend. I absolutely want to know what's being discussed.
No, you don't.
I absolutely.
There's nothing
do.
being discussed.
And
It's
that's
quiet.
where I like. Well, that's. I want to know all of it. Maybe she's just the biggest football nerd in the world, and she's like, "What's the 3-4 defense? Can you explain how this like?" And it's just full X's and O's. Like she's just absolutely like.
She's
okay,
in for coach.
it's- it's one of those, like, please tell me again how you got, like, Malcolm Butler to get that interception. Like, break down that play once again for me. And, like, she's going play by play, like, okay, take me through the Titans win that you guys had in the playoffs that year. Like, and he's, like, talking through. Like, I want that, because it'd be like, this is even more wild. Or I want Bill Belichick to be like,
this so many places.
Please do.
Or I want Bill Belichick to be the one that's like, so did you see what happened in The Bachelor last night? Like, oh my God, can you believe they kicked out Carrie? Like, she didn't get a rose, and then she's like, I know, like, it was absolutely stunning. And Bill's like all in on this.
No, he's not.
I would love that though. Also, that's the Bill. Like, Bill is like fully into like all of that stuff, but he's never been able to break in, like, talk about it. And now he's got someone to talk about it with, and he's very excited. That's why he doesn't want to coach football anymore. It's because he wants to watch The Bachelor on Monday nights. When's The Bachelor?
Monday
nights.
Anybody watch it yesterday?
He didn't want to watch Monday. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's done with Monday Night Football. He wants to watch The Bachelor. He doesn't want to watch on tape delay. He wants to know what's going on with the Rose tonight.
The guy that wears the same T-shirt and he was coaching. The guy has no knowledge of, like, fashion or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just wild.
Maybe that's what they talk about. He's trying to learn.
No,
and so they're at dinner. And she's like, "Okay, well, you pinks go with purples."
Oh my God.
I don't know if pinks and purples go together.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
colors.
Yeah, okay.
Unbelievable.
But I still want to know what they talk about. I do.
I agree with you, but I think their relationship is like I've mentioned, it's a mutual understanding. You pay, you give me all of this. I'm going to get a lot of money regardless of what happens. And he just wants a fine thing. It's a nice fine, arm piece. Right? They have an agreement. She's taken care of. Women, it's crazy. Like, actually, I won't. This is a very hot topic. I just know a couple women that are just like, I always wanted to be so career oriented and stuff. And now they're just like,
They want to be sugar. They want
yeah,
sugar
they're
daddy.
like, F that.
Get
yeah.
a sugar daddy.
Hence the zaddies. Yeah. They're like, F that. I just want to be taken care of now. In this economy, can you blame them?
I saw apparently price of eggs in the U.S. are going to go up 41% this year.
See what I mean? Maybe they just want to make an omelet.
She just wanted.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That might be the quote of the
is
Hangout
so
for a while.
good.
That is a great comment right there. The official drink of the EST Hangout. It is the finished long drink, a legend of 1952 drink. I think any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada. You can go enter your postal code and find a liquor store establishment nearest you with the long drink. Or if you're off to an Oiler game, let's say next week, they do have a partnership with OEG. So you could pick it up there. She just wants an omelet.
Okay.
This is the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and thanks to those listening. Wherever you get your podcasts. Are we done with that story? Or can we move on?
We're
Okay.
good.
I
got
can't wait
enough
to
on that.
rabbit hole it though
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
Yeah, one texter. I'm ready for you guys to get onto something else, anything else. Yep, we're there now.
Okay,
Don't worry.
sorry.
But we had. I'm surprised. I'm actually a little surprised Jasmine didn't know about this story.
I
Yeah.
am too.
I'm surprised you knew about this one, Bellezy.
Well, I was under a rock. I was.
5:15.
I went.
I actually thought Brendan was going to know.
And you
It
didn't know,
was
eh?
the first thing on my Twitter when I did look.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. I hadn't.
If it wasn't for AB, I wouldn't have known.
You know that account is like someone else. Like they bought that account. It's not him.
It doesn't
Great
even,
account,
it doesn't
though.
even matter. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
sure
he
it's
has
not
funny
Antonio
memes.
Brown?
I'm almost positive.
I thought that's Antonio Brown.
So did I.
On Twitter?
Yeah.
No, I
I-
think someone
yeah.
runs it for him. but-
Oh, well, somebody might run it for
Yeah.
him.
Either
But-
or, it doesn't even matter. The only reason I knew about it is because of that. Because Antonio Brown's not just going to randomly post some dude and say blank of the year.
There's always
what-
curiosity
yeah.
in certain things that you just have to
Yeah.
go look into. Luca, Lakers.
yeah.
looking down.
Did you watch the game last night?
I didn't, but
No.
awesome. The
Luca
whole
like
thing.
ripping it, you mean?
Yeah.
They are
Triple-double?
straight up NBA contenders, title contenders. Not saying the favorites. They have played their way into title contenders. Just throwing that out there.
It was a close game though. It wasn't like a blowout by any means.
Nope.
Like they tied it at one point.
It was
right?
late in the fourth.
Yeah.
It was a 1-point game, I think it was. And then the Lakers pulled away a little bit near
Mm.
the end to finish it off. But their big win over the Nuggets on Saturday. They're top 5 betting for title. They're moving on. OKC is the favorite, obviously, out of the West. They are title contenders. I'll just say that right now.
Imagine if they had Williams still. They would be favorites.
Mark Williams?
I guess not still, but like, yeah. What's his name?
Well, unless he got hurt. That's why they said no to him, because he was too hurt. He was too injured. Don't need him. They got Luka. They got LeBron. We're all good.
Austin Reeves, what a beauty.
Love
What
Austin
a
Reeves.
beauty that guy is.
What are you laughing at, Bellezy?
I'm laughing at the nasty chat.
Nasty chat got sexy.
The nasty chat got just nasty.
Oh.
Prez, behave yourself. Like, behave yourself.
Well, look at Big Uke.
Big Uke is, yeah. I don't even have to say anything to Big Uke. He knows exactly.
You want to know something,
Like,
Big Uke, to that one?
Oh my God.
Round of clicks. Round of
Yeah,
clicks, Big
yeah,
Uke. That
yeah,
is just...
Can I read it? One of them?
No.
The Luka
No,
one?
No.
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 No. Go on YouTube if you want to see it.
No.
Big Uke. It was... Jasmine has the
man.
comment of the day with these. Sometimes
Yeah.
you just wants an omelet.
Yeah.
And now Big Uke with the comment of the show from the nasty
Yeah.
chat. Just
Yeah.
straight up.
Yes.
I don't think anything's going to top that one.
Oh my
But
God.
the Lakers, they're just rolling. We're just rolling. We're too good.
Still 5.
What's 5? Oh, yeah, we had that bet. I forgot about that.
Still going to lose in 5.
Did we put anything on it yet, or were we
No,
going
we
to think
haven't.
of that?
We were thinking
okay,
of it.
I got to
but,
think of that.
It doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, I love the fact that Luka played against the Mavs and beat him like a rented mule. And then to watch, there's that still shot,
Yes.
that picture.
Yes,
That could be
Nico.
the best picture I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Ever seen. If it was photoshopped, whoever photoshopped that, you are a saint. If it wasn't photoshopped, whoever that camera guy is, give that man a raise. The best photo I've ever seen. Ever. It's fantastic.
Which photo?
It's like Nico sitting in the stand.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, him leaning back. Okay.
Yeah. And he's got a look of disgust on his face. And it's Luka's name. And you can see he's like looking in that direction. It's beautiful.
I agree. Did you see Luka paid for parking, apparently?
Yeah.
For Laker
Free
fans?
parking?
He
Yeah.
paid for the parking for
Unreal.
Laker fans.
Like, so, I love that. I love that drama. It's so good. And then you see Mark Cuban laughing and cheering when Luka's like hitting a 3.
Because I guarantee this trade doesn't happen if Mark Cuban
Not a
is the
chance. Not a chance.
majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
Which also, it's like, why'd you sell Mark?
Yeah.
Why are you selling that team? But he's not happy with what they did there. And
So, okay, going back to this whole thing then with Luka, what do you think the real reason was for them
trade him?
to trade him? Do you think it was just purely the dollars and cents
I
of
think
it?
in the end, this ownership group who are, I don't know, billionaires from Vegas who own casinos and those type of people don't like spending money. And I don't think they wanted to pay Luka Doncic's a max
The max.
salary.
That's exactly what it is.
I think they didn't want
Yeah.
to pay. And I think
That's like the dumbest decision. That was the picture right there. That was the dumbest decision of all time.
But I think these are owners. Mark Cuban's an owner that wanted title. Mark Cuban's an owner that wanted to take the Mavs to. If you sometimes click media, you could scroll. Mark Cuban wanted to go and get the NBA title. I don't think these owners give a damn about the NBA title as much.
That's fair.
I think they give a damn about whatever else. There's a money thing. There's a prestige.
Right there.
The left one.
Yeah.
Up. That one.
Yeah.
There's a prestige thing to being a sports owner in the world.
Yep.
And I think it's one that I think Tommy's brought up the talk of trying to build a casino in Dallas area or something. And
I
they
did,
got
yeah.
involved.
That
You
is
did?
like, yeah.
Yep.
it's-
And so I don't think they own the Mavericks for the NBA title. I don't think they give a damn about the Larry O'Brien trophy. So they're going, why are we're gonna pay this one guy who's to us a little chunky, apparently. We have to pay him how much money?
I think it wasn't at 345.
But it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're good. Get rid of him.
The best part about it too is like Luka before the game was doing push-ups.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything about that game and what he did, I absolutely loved.
Gotta see.
It was a good game for sure. There was like Luka had a lot to prove there, and he did. That was kind of the crazy thing. Like he played outstanding.
But the one, and this isn't even the big game though. Like it's when Luka first goes back to Dallas is going to be the bigger game, obviously,
yeah.
right? Because it's
So, okay.
and I'll be fascinated how the Mavs handle that game as a fan.
the
That's
fans
what
are
I
gonna
wanted. That
cheer.
was what I was gonna ask is like, how is that gonna go?
Because you're not booing Luka.
No chance.
He gets an ovation coming out. But then how do you cheer on your team and like
If they show the owner at any point, that guy will get booed.
I don't think
He like to me.
do
if-
those owners even show up to those games? And I'm about
They
to look up their
shouldn't.
owners. But I don't know if they ever did because those are like who those guys are. Like, quickly, I just want to see if those two teams meet again this season in Dallas or if that's over. Like, have they already met in Dallas earlier this year? I don't see them on the schedule. Oh, no, they go April 9th.
April
Lakers
9th?
are in Dallas.
Oh, boy. I got to circle
Dallas.
that on my calendar because that is going to be unbelievable.
The owners, it's Miriam Adelson and Patrick Dumont. Adelson is a 79-year-old woman who is married to Sheldon Adelson, who passed in 2021, but they are the founder of the Las Vegas Sands Casino Company, which is what hotels do they own? Properties. Here we go. Why am I not reading this properly?
Well,
Here it is. They own the Venetian. Oh, those aren't in Vegas. Did they not own Vegas properties anymore?
clearly they're pretty smart business people, but clearly they're complete meathead when it comes to sports business.
Well, but that's like they're smart business people, but how you get smart business and how you get to the level of money you have is also by not paying people. They're actually
100%.
Billionaires can often be the cheapest people in the world.
100%.
That's how they like spending other people's money. They don't like spending their money. That's how they get rich.
Exactly.
And so that's where it's also like I go to this and go, you're not buying a sports team then.
Yeah.
In this case, like there's I would say 3 reasons to buy a sports team. There's you want to win the title. And by all accounts, I'm going to and it's not at the same level fully in terms of money, but apparently Larry Thompson has bought the Edmonton Oilers because he wants a Grey Cup. That's what he's going for. Mark Cuban was a guy that wanted the Grey Cup, or not the Grey Cup, the Larry O'Brien. You've got people that want just the prestige. And that's mostly like NFL owners. Like that is such an exclusive club to be one of 32 owners in the NFL. That is a big deal. And the other is it's a business thing. You're buying now, you're hoping to flip it later. You're going to do whatever business that you're trying to do. I'll say locally, Cates is a bit of 1 and 3. He wants to win a Stanley Cup, but this was also a business deal for him with the arena and everything that's going on around it. There was both of those in that.
See, but like
these people, I don't think, I'm not going to sit here and say they look like people to me that are sitting there like, we've always dreamed of hoisting a Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah, like I would say, once again, they're very smart business people, but sports business, they're clearly just dumb. Because Luka is the face of your franchise. You could argue he is one of the up-and-coming faces of the league. However, I did hear a conversation about how they won't make non-American players the face of the league. Anyway, that's a completely different conversation. But like Luka in Dallas equaled dollars. That's what that was. So you trade Luka away. Dallas is a sports city that consistently, if you're not doing well, people don't show up. People show up now for the Stars because they are playing well and they're a good team. Prior to that, when they weren't very good, people weren't showing up. Same thing can be said for the Rangers. Cowboys obviously are the Cowboys, so that never changes. But the rest of the sports franchises, like, if you don't play well, they're not showing up. So it's a pretty bold move considering you have one of the best superstars in the league on your team, and then you try to trade them because you're like, well, I don't want to spend any money. Well, that ain't very smart. So they may be super business people, but clearly when it comes to sports, they're a couple meatheads.
How dare you, Lieutenant Eric, come into our nasty chat and time out Big Uke for 10 seconds for his silly goose take. This isn't the morning show. You don't have the power over our listeners for that stuff. You also deleted his comment about
Mary Kate.
Yeah.
That was
and the Luka.
Fire.
How dare you?
Yeah, what the heck?
Is this LT's doing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the morning show says it's silly goose. It's such a foul language. They don't want it on their
Knock
show.
it off.
But this is the Hangout. And we say those things here on the Hangout.
We talk about the SEC.
Yeah. I guarantee you, in the city of Edmonton, there is no other radio station that had that discussion today.
Not
I
a chance.
agree with you.
Don't give me this Law and Order, Lieutenant Eric.
The Alabama,
you stick to your Nielsen show.
Alabama
with Lieutenant Eric
spine
stuff.
crunch.
Unbelievable. Big U.
What is going on?
I don't think I can unmute someone or untimeout them, but that was the Hangout does not stand for that 10-second timeout you had.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hello,
Unbelievable. Sorry. But
Wow.
back to the yeah, no, it's if you're a Mavs fan, I think you're worried about the future
You got to be.
because you also have to think if you ever get another superstar again, are you investing in that superstar or are you trading that superstar
Yeah.
Yeah,
with this ownership group?
Yeah.
that's tough. It's very tough.
But it was great for the LA Lakers. And as a Laker fan, thank you. To the ownership, to Nico, I salute you.
It's so interesting.
Keep doing this.
Yeah.
You want to know? So next time you have a superstar, our phones are open. I speak to
Trade
Rob
him.
Link
Trade
on
him
that one.
right away. Trade him. Right.
We'll
to
gladly take him.
Right to the Lakers.
Just, yeah, we're good with that.
It's so funny how like everybody's still so rocked about this Luka trade. And it's so interesting to me how like Nico was just sitting there though. Like he was
Why would you go to that game?
that's exactly it. The audacity you have.
Like, don't go to LA.
and just stare at Luka after what you did. Yeah.
Meathead. Other basketball news.
Oh, your
You
best
saw
friend?
this one?
Yeah.
Before
no?
you get to that, this is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada storage experts, more than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transition. Sentinel.ca for more information on convenient locations nearest you or to get in on their latest deal. Buy Canadian, they're a Canadian storage provider. Go ahead.
There was a tweet that came out from NBA Central via somebody else. Said if Joel Embiid is not with the Sixers next season, the Raptors are the favorites to land him.
Ugh.
Exactly
favorites
what
to land
I
him?
said. The Raptors.
Why? Ew.
Because you have
Come on, the guy's played like half his NBA games.
Well, there you go.
nice.
Yeah.
As the Raptors, with all that, with him being such a villain when there was that rivalry between the Sixers and the Raptors, if you're a Raptor fan, would you actually want him to be part of your team?
No, he's a
Matt
very
Cassian
unlikable
came to the
guy.
Edmonton Oilers.
Matt Cassian?
Not
Or
Matt
Zach
Cassian.
Cassian.
Zach Cassian
Cassian.
came to the Edmonton Oilers.
With all
I've
due
seen those.
respect
I
to
know
Zach
it's not
Cassian,
the same level. Not the same level.
And his
it was not
story?
the it's
Yeah.
not the same level
Okay. With
in
the
which
Edmonton,
Joel.
would you accept Matt Tkachuk if you're the Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah.
Once again, not pretty much the same level.
That's superstar level. You know, right up there. Like, would the Oilers like? There's been I don't know. It's thrown
Okay,
out there.
I'm going to play
Would a-
devil's advocate quickly. Okay, so Matt Tkachuk doesn't miss hockey games.
Fair. Well, I guess different sports in that regard.
Okay, but he doesn't miss hockey games. He's one of the ultimate competitors in the game. So Edmonton, blue collar town, they want work ethic. That's what they thrive off of. That's why probably most of the time we get into these chats after games, it's because people are losing it because there's no effort. Joel is literally the opposite of that. He trolls everyone. He's got minimal effort. When he does play, he's at the top of the league. But the question is, like you just kind of said, he's only played half of his games. So do you really want a guy with your young core of guys that are 24 and younger
But
coming in with that level?
if you're Masai, maybe you're looking at this like a Kawhi type thing. Now, not same. Obviously, Kawhi.
He was a
Ego-wise
dog. He was a
and stuff, very
dog, though.
different. Very
Kawhi.
different.
Yeah.
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 But you're sitting there and you're making that move for Joel and going, hey, you come here. We're going to load manage the hell out of you throughout the regular season, just like we did with Kawhi. You need to show up in the playoffs. And we need you to be on your, there's none of this other antics and stuff. We've got this good core here. We're building something here. We've brought in Brandon Ingram. Scotty Barnes is here. You're that final piece that's going to take us now to the top. We will load manage the hell out of you. We're going to protect your health. Proof is in the pudding. We did it with Kawhi. You just have to be better. Is that not worth the risk, possibly?
What's the dollar figure that comes with it?
Does it matter?
Yes,
Why?
because you're wasting so much money on a guy that could be, let's say, 75% of that, who could be a rim protector, help space the floor, and you can accomplish the exact same thing.
But can you go get a different superstar? If you don't have another avenue to get a superstar, is Embiid not somebody?
I don't
to
think
go,
you need a superstar if you've got the other four guys consistently in
If you
your
want to win a
lineup.
title,
No,
you
you need a
superstar.
superstar.
If you want to win,
And
the
he's
league,
the only one
Scotty
willing to
Barnes
come
not
to
going
the
to become a
Raptors.
superstar. He's one of the best defensive players right now in the league.
but how long until he's going to be a superstar?
Well,
he's
that's
gonna
why
be
they
one.
went out and got Brandon Ingram so
He's not
that
a
he can.
superstar.
I know he's not, but he can now space the floor with his shooting to allow Scotty to start to attack spacing. I'm now trying to like think about the words because Prez has got me all twisted up with him telling me about like scissoring and all that kind of nonsense. So I'm now trying to like think about my words. So
A day ago, by the way, it says Embiid will cover. I saw this in ESPN Instagram tweet, so I would assume it'd be similar. Embiid will own over 33% of the 76ers cap next year.
yeah, I would get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
A third of the cap will go to Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I would get rid of him
He's
too.
got to go.
But
but it's if it's
if
super.
you're the Raptors, like that's where I think if you have a shot at getting another superstar, you take that shot.
That's the only reason that I would say maybe. And maybe you were right. Like they would properly manage him.
They would have to.
And maybe he would like to be like the god of the six, right? And really do
Maybe
well.
he's
So
told-
that's
maybe
a
he's-
massive turnaround to become that guy.
Well, we worship our superstars in Canada.
And I'll say-
we don't have a lot of them.
When the
That's- you're
Raptors
not
were
wrong.
having their
You're not wrong.
success, you know, there was a conversation I heard from Toronto a little bit of were the Raptors maybe more popular than the Leafs for a period of time,
Yes, they were.
right? Like
Yeah.
they got to such a height, and now that they've bottomed out again, that's fading. And there's still
Yeah.
going to be the diehard Raptors fans in the six,
Mm-hmm.
but that casual fan has kind of gone away. How far away can you let them get before you have to try to reel them back
Is
in?
Embiid the
Absolutely.
superstar that would bring that all back though?
I think if you're a team that's, you know, fighting for maybe the top in the East, yeah. Because I don't think it's the player as much.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the six, I'll say this, I don't think they fully knew who Kawhi fully was. The casual. The diehards
The
obviously
casual,
do.
yeah, the casual didn't.
So
but
I don't think those casuals don't know the history almost of Embiid. They just now know, oh, here's some big guy coming here that's apparently supposed to be good. He's never won the MVP.
I don't know if he has.
Because he's been in the conversation the last couple of years. I don't know if he's actually, no, obviously Jokic won it. But he was like finalist.
He was, but I think he lost to Jokic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, has you know, and 2023 he was the MVP of the NBA. So you're sitting there and you're going to go, we're bringing an MVP from just a couple of years ago to add to Brandon Ingram, who we just signed to this big deal. And we've got RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
And we got Scotty Barnes. We built this team. And maybe the casuals go, oh, I'm interested. And if they compete in the East and they're competing for the top of their division, maybe it does bring those people back in. And if you're load managing MB, people are, why is an MB play all the time? It's, well, you just have to say, we're doing what we did to Kawhi. And they might, oh, you guys are trying to win a championship. This guy, like, maybe. That's
But
what
you
that's
don't
how I'm
think
trying to
you-
sell it. Like,
Which is fair. Do you don't think that a guy that's 75% of what Embiid could be could do the exact same thing, but you don't have to load manage him? Because now you've got like a chemistry built over the course of a season. Because the one thing about Kawhi is like, yes, there was load management, but he still played a large chunk of games.
how many games did he play?
So it wasn't, and there was like a bond between all those players there.
Geez, Kawhi's only 33.
Yeah, which is crazy.
What?
Yeah.
He looks like, no offense.
Well, it's
Kawhi.
also
He
like-
looks a little older though, you know?
The amount of injuries he's dealt with and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
since he's gone to the Clippers, he's barely played.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's it. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this guy, how much longer does he have left? Actually,
He's got lots of
Yeah.
miles.
based on
Yeah,
lots of,
he-
but based on like his age, like you're sitting there, like he probably could play till he's 40 almost or 38
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you also sit at all these injuries and go, well, like since he's been to the Clippers, sorry, the Raptors, he played 60 games that year. So he missed 22.
Yeah.
But he played 57 first year with the Clippers, 52, missed the season, 50, 68. So he had a lot last year, and he's only played 16 this year.
Yeah.
He's missing
maybe
a lot.
maybe it's a good idea that he didn't want to stay with us with the
Oh.
Raptors.
Well, the flip side, though, is
Yeah.
maybe the Raptors would have treated his health a little bit better. Like, I don't know fully how the Clippers were, and maybe there would have been,
Yep.
they would have spaced it out a little better.
Yeah.
You never know. But I'll say that to the Embiid, somebody who's 75% of Embiid, that's not a superstar. And you need a superstar in this league to win.
That you do. And it's just unfortunate that superstars don't give the Raptors a chance.
Even though what we, like, America saw was how much, I'm going to take Canada out of this largely.
Yep.
Okay.
How much Toronto got behind those Raptors.
Yeah.
And how, like, Michael Wilbon talked about it famous on PTI, like from All-Star games, but then that's like there's not a lot of better arenas to be in that are louder than those
Yeah,
Raptors.
when it
champions.
gets going.
Like that team,
Yeah.
they get behind you, they're
Yeah.
into you, like you are a god
Yeah.
and then
that's exactly
across
it.
the country.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
become a god. But then it's, you got to go play in Canada, and it's a foreign country to a lot of them.
And the taxes are high, and it's cold. And
But if he can't,
Which is such a weird argument because there's so many places in the States that are cold too.
yeah, I know.
Minnesota is freezing, and they
they
apparently
also
get
never
lots of
won a
people.
championship.
Well, they still get free agents. So Detroit gets free agents somehow, and it's the exact same as Canada. It's actually a dirty version.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they get free agents. It's the weirdest thing. Like,
But that's I just maybe Masai is looking at this and going, I can't, or Bobby Webster too. Always forget him. He's the GM. We can't get another superstar because we have to trade for them or draft them.
well, I think that's where they're trying to build Scotty to be that superstar, and I think he's close. People are already saying he's probably a top 15, top 20 player in the league based off just of his defense alone. What they're saying is his swings with his offense, they're too much. The consistency, if he can become a consistent 20, 24 and 10 guy, I think the Raptors are in a good spot because that's what Ingram's probably going to be too. That's what Barrett's going to be. Like, now you've got to try to figure out who are we going to try to stop. Because Barrett, since he's left the Knicks, has been off the charts good.
Actually, it has been. That was a great trade for both sides.
Unbelievable.
It worked out so well for both.
So it's been interesting in Raptors land because that's probably my favorite NBA team. So just kind of like watching and kind of figuring and seeing how that's going. It's been very interesting because trading for Ingram, and from all accounts, you're like, well, that's probably not a good trade because you're accelerating your rebuild. But at the same time, the pick that they got rid of wasn't the top 5 potentially protected. So they could still get a legitimate player. And maybe that's where the big comes from. I guess that's maybe where this conversation needs to go. But
Or maybe you get a pissed off Joel Embiid who comes in and is just like, I'm ready to win a title.
yeah.
And Masai sits him down and they have a great chat, and it's.
Yeah, like Kawhi in a sense, right?
But Kawhi had won.
Yeah, but Kawhi
People
won. That's what I'm
forget
saying.
about that.
Yeah.
Kawhi, like, not you saying, but
Yeah.
Kawhi won. Was it 2 titles? I think it was 2 already with the Spurs. Like
Yeah.
he was a winner.
He was
Yeah.
unbelievable. He might have been a top 3 guy when he was with the Spurs, the way he was playing.
So, he was.
Yeah.
When he left the Raptors, he was top 3 in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up.
Yep.
It was
He was
him, LeBron,
unbelievable.
and maybe you throw Steph. I think
Giannis.
that, like, I don't think Giannis at the time was at the top.
You don't think
3.
you don't think he
I'm
took
trying
that
to
step there
remember.
at that point?
I think maybe it's just after.
I'll take Steph. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
No, I think it was after that Giannis took that next
Sure.
step.
It doesn't even
maybe,
matter
or
to me.
something.
I agree. Either way, they're
But
in the conversation.
They were,
Yeah.
or KD might have been it, and instead of Steph,
Yeah.
I think it would have been KD. It would be interesting with the beef that Embiid and the Raptors had, but it's at the same time, him and Nick Nurse had beef, and Nick Nurse went on to be his coach.
Wild. And now he plays less than ever.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the sign. Maybe Nick Nurse was always like, this was his plan. He didn't care about the 76ers. He was just going to ruin the relationship between Embiid
He's
and the
a plant?
76ers to get Embiid to be like, I'm done. And the 76ers want to go. And then Morey sent
he's
him to
just
the
like,
Raptors.
Go
and
to the Raptors.
Nick Nurse is just like, yeah. And then he gets a little payday from MLSE.
Man.
Speaking of Nick Chubb is going to test free agency. Where do you think he'll go?
Interesting.
Yeah. I just
What's
saw it on
his
Twitter.
numbers?
I've been under a rock. Keep trying to say this. I've been under a rock.
I'm just trying to think. What
Usually I
his,
have notes. I have no notes.
Who's looking for Minnesota? Are they looking for a running back?
they still have Aaron Jones. They just brought him in. Aaron Jones didn't have a bad year
Yeah, he
last
was
year. I don't
okay.
think they used him enough.
Didn't they try to load manage him at one point this year?
It seemed like it. What is it? So last year, well, Nick Chubb, well, he was hurt. He only, But in his 8 games, he only rushed for 332 yards.
Yeah, they had another.
But he had 3 touchdowns.
They had another running back that came in and handled the snaps.
He's 29, a 29-year-old running back. Those are tough. Like, how old's Derrick Henry? He kind of was an outlier in a sense. He's 31. The type of season he pulled off with the Ravens, that's an outlier. Running backs generally at this age
He's
start
gonna do
falling
it.
off.
He's gonna do it again too.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll be skeptical. Personally, even just because at this age, running backs just don't do it anymore in the NFL. They just don't. So
Normally, I
there's
would
going to be a
agree with you.
cliff. And the way he runs.
Well, if it wasn't for the fact that they have Lamar Jackson, which is going to pull defenders,
Yeah.
that would be, if it was just a normal team, I would say, yeah, I agree. But because they have Lamar, it opens up just holes that aren't necessarily always there.
Oh, I think this is from Norm in a combine quickly. Tracy just got out. Surgery went well, according to the doctor. Should be able to come home tomorrow with no complications.
Oh, wow.
Flex for Tracy.
Yeah.
Stick yours.
That's
Good job.
awesome.
BBL.
BBL. Can we just
She'll love that and laugh after. Yeah, NFL free agency soon here. Because it's combine week. Nothing like watching a bunch of kids do drills. When is free agency? March 12th.
Oh,
Oh, that's what it's the greatest thing that people go pay to go watch a combine, Brandon, where they're watching kids do drills. Nothing like the combine.
It's kind of cool though.
Why?
It's kind of cool, like, because just watching what they try to do and how they try to emulate the game. It's kind of cool. You can't do it in hockey.
They do the combine.
They do a combine in hockey, but it's not what
Can't
the
you go on the
NFL
ice
do.
and do stuff?
They don't though,
Why not?
because the NHL. No, we're not going to go down that path.
Okay.
I'm not ripping.
Well, I'll say
anybody
this
today.
about the but I'm a lot of players are stopping the top players doing the combine because the NFL puts so much stock into the combine, and a player has one bad day, and it's like his draft stock falls, and they go, here's all my film.
I've been one of
all
the
my
best all year.
film."
Yeah.
And at the same time, they're starting to do their own pro days where they know the receiver.
Yep.
Like when they go to the combine, they don't know who they're throwing to.
Yep.
And it's like, well, I'm not doing this. Also, like the 40-yard, you never, outside of the one receiver running the Hail Mary route, you're never running a 40.
Just showcasing your speed.
And Al Davis would find the highest one, like, we're drafting that guy because that's all he cared about.
The combine in the NHL, you have all your little exercises that you do. And then you get to the biking stations. And when I did it, it was the Wingate first.
Is that the one you puke? People puke?
Oh, they die.
Or is it
If you're not ready for the Wingate, you are like,
is that the bike
your
you're connected
soul
to?
leaves your body and it watches you as you're trying to ride this bike for 30 seconds with your feet duct taped to the pedals and people screaming at you, being like, you need to go faster.
So is it just going as fast as you
as
can on
fast
this
as you
bike?
can. So basically
So
what
why do
happens,
people puke? Is it just
because you're exerting all the effort and energy you have in your body. And then, so let's say you're 180 pounds. They take 20% of that weight, they drop that onto the wheel. So it's a 30-second test. So 10 seconds in, you got to get moving, got to get moving, got to get moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've got to be going as fast as you possibly can at that start time. From there, because you're exerting so much force and energy and power, right? You have to be strapped in. You got to be duct taped in. And then people are yelling at you to keep going. So you're taking everything you have in your body in that 30 seconds and you're expelling it.
really?
It's over. And if you're not prepared for it, once again, your soul leaves your body. It stares down at you and says, wow, that's crazy. And then you get off of it and they have a rest station where you have to lay down and you have you sip on lemon water to try to recover. And then the craziness after that is you then get onto the VO2, which is where they pull the mask over, they plug your nose, they stick a hose in your mouth, and you've got to now try to do this bike where it's like a staged bike. Takes 15 to 20 minutes, and I think it's every 2 minutes you have to increase your level. And then after a certain time frame, it's every minute. And you're trying to test how much oxygen comes through and blah, blah, blah. The beautiful part about the VO2 is that if you're a bigger person, your VO2 might be naturally way worse than somebody else's. So you do the test that kills you, and then you try to do a test where you got to breathe through a tube. Doesn't make sense.
I'm getting an asthma attack thinking about this.
Yeah,
Like I said,
no,
I think we challenged people, right?
I could never do it.
to do a VO2 or not to do the Wingate here. We challenged people. I think it was on the Hangout.
Yeah, I'll never do it. I'd puke, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. Everybody
you?
would. No, but I was ready for it.
Wow.
Were you?
Yeah.
Do you only have to do that the once, or is that
All you need is one.
right? It's just the combine. They don't. That's not part of physicals at the start of an NHL season.
Oh, no, it is.
Oh, is it?
It is.
You do that every year?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's stupid. Yeah. No, it's stupid. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So the Oilers this year, they come to camp
PTSD.
and they start it, and that's what they start their year with.
I don't know if the Oilers do it anymore, because the year that I was with the Oilers, we did a mock Wingate, where it was like 5-second intervals. So you go as hard as you possibly could for the 5 seconds. You'd have a quick break, or maybe it was 10 seconds, quick break. And you did that 3 or 4 times.
I'd want to be the team that doesn't do it as a selling point. Hey guys, you don't have to do it over
Minnesota
here. We're doing
didn't do
something
anything,
different.
and it was glorious. But
Who did?
Minnesota, but the practices were like obnoxiously hard.
Oh,
So they kind of made up for it because they're like, well, we could see who's doing it on the ice. But yeah, that was like the Wingate might be the worst test of all time.
portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they're brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehighproductmarketing.com. That is paper clips in it, so it's not going to, it has the wind resistance and all of that there. Matt, Jasmine, Bellezy with you here, along with Brendan, the intern, on the other side of the camera there. Just got a few more minutes left here on the Hangout.
I literally, these are my notes. It says Firefest. People are paying up to $2 million.
What's happening with Firefest? Is it coming back?
Firefest 2 is back. Did you hear about this, Brendan? People have lost it.
So if you
What's
have Firefest,
Firefest?
do you remember Firefest? The first one was the
Ja Rule,
festival
yeah.
with Ja Rule.
Oh, the guy, yeah,
But it never happened. and people were stranded on the island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they lost money, and then there was a couple of documentaries made on it. If there's number 2 coming, what you'd want to do
Yeah,
is spend
well-
money on it.
Oh,
Right?
On the website.
so
Like,
exciting.
that's just like,
People-
if anyone loses money on Firefest 2, that's on you.
It's so.
You're an
Did
idiot.
you see that documentary, by the way?
Yeah,
because
I
there's
watched
2
the
of them.
first half of
One of
yeah.
them, I forgot who. It was somebody who lost money or something that did it
Yeah, Netflix.
a little bit. Well, Netflix had one. And there was
off
another
Netflix.
one. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I watched. That
May
was
30th
outrageous.
through June 2nd,
Outrageous.
2025. Tickets. What do we got? How much are tickets?
People like stranded out, like
$1,400
no food,
US.
shelter.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, I'm going to pay $2 million now. For the
Well,
second one.
One's $1,400 and one's $5,000 on their site right now. Who's performing?
There's no set list.
So I'm paying money and I don't
Yeah.
even know who's performing.
Yeah.
The fire. This
Who's
is what
running it? Is it the
I
same
think
guy?
it's the same dude. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I
This
think he's
is
out
amazing.
of jail now.
yeah.
And he's going to Firefest.
What is Fire Festival 2? There's frequent asked questions.
Okay.
It is an electrifying celebration of music, arts, cuisine, comedy, fashion, gaming, sports, and treasure hunting, all set in the stunning locale of Isla Mujeres in Mexico. Experience unforgettable performances, immersive experiences, and an atmosphere that redefines creativity and culture. How do I get tickets? It is an 18 plus. Here's flying. Oh, see more. I want to see more of your questions. Because I want to see.
Cuisine, did you say they had a sandwich with a piece of lettuce and 2 cheeses on it? That was the
Yeah.
cuisine.
Does it say anything about Fire Festival 1? That's my question. No, there's nothing. Oh, how to apply for a media pass. We should apply for media
We
passes.
should.
Yes, we should. We need to cover this.
To request a media pass, email this thing, your full full name, your media outlet, and any relevant details about your coverage. We're going to bring the Hangout live to you from Fire Festival 2.
Yeah.
Who's putting this on?
I think this
Fire
guy.
Festival 2.
What's his name?
Oh, here's the global story. Fire Festival 2 for just over 1 million. You and your 7 friends can attend.
This guy's gonna make all of his money back.
Oh, Billy McFarland.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did the press release. He is fully involved in this.
Oh my god.
Tickets went on sale Monday. He received a 6-year prison sentence in 2018, was released in 2022 after earning good time credit.
Oh my god.
In a press release, McFarland describes the sequel as, quote, a 3-day escape to the Mexican Caribbean where you explore by day and alongside your favorite talent and come together at night to celebrate with music.
Like, who's going to be. What famous artist is going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go? It's a joke now.
Well, I'm sorry. I want people to lose money on this. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
'cause that's
If
like-
you're going to give $1,400 per person or $5,000 for the exclusive one and all of that, because apparently also with the $5,000, it includes 4-day VIP access to the festival, including front row viewing of the stage and close viewing of the fight pit where MMA fighters will duo each night.
Seriously.
If you are going to give $5,000 US to this guy after we learned everything from the first one, you deserve to lose your $5,000 US. It's the same as anyone that bought the meme for the Haktua girl and you lost money on that one. That's your fault.
Yeah.
You don't deserve my sympathy. You're an idiot to wanting to give money to a meme coin related to a girl for Haktuaing. Like,
Yeah.
you'll deserve to lose money.
This is my whole point to this. Like, there's documentaries about how awful and what a big scam But people are still going to pay for it. Like, this is how the world is just sheep sometimes, you know? They're just like, I need to.
1.1 million. You want to know what the experience gets you? For 8 people. 4-day access. Comes with access to the festival ground, on stage access to the stage to watch those wonderful performers that we don't know. Fight team access at the fire pit. A curated itinerary of fire experiences. Don't know what that means. 24/7 private chauffeur service. And a dedicated on-site concierge and access to some arena. According to the website, the 8 guests will, quote, live like the gods of fire.
Okay.
How much did that cost?
1.1 mil.
Just 1.1 mil US. Yeah.
Okay.
This screams rich kids all over it.
Yeah, and those are the people that lost money the first time.
Yeah.
And I felt like I will feel a little bad for that
Will you,
first
though?
one. For the first one.
Okay, the first
You
one.
lost
yes.
money.
Yeah.
You went and it was awful.
Yep.
But I will say this. No, this guy's like, at least you have to have some sort of artist confirmed. Like, why would you spend money on a festival you don't even know who the artists are? Like, this could be a whole country festival. All of a sudden, you'd be like, I hate country.
Sure.
Don't you want to know some of the artists?
The fact that people are even like remotely investing in this, I can't. No, I can't.
Surveyor Brad, save your money. No fire festival. Invest all in the Mary Kate coin. It actually exists. Yeah, no, I know it exists. Somebody created a coin for Mary Kate.
I told you though.
Amazing.
She's gonna get deals. Playboy, OnlyFans, all that.
I don't think there's Playboy anymore, is there?
Yeah, there's Playboy. The Oilers flashers in it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Mm. Facts. Oh, just humanity. I mean, if I was a spoiled rich
Man.
kid, would I go?
No,
No.
I just go on my own trip.
I just wouldn't go to that.
I'd go
There's
book a
million other
villa in
festivals.
some other place in the Caribbean and take my friends there.
Yes.
What's the massive one in Palm Springs?
Yeah, the
Coachella.
I've been.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Yeah.
I would if I'm a rich kid, I'm going there.
Well, there's
That's-
Coachella.
yeah.
There's
You
a
get the
bunch of
visa.
Stagecoach is
festivals.
right after, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
There's a-
the
yes.
weekend after. That's supposed to be massive. Like there's so many festivals.
There's a big
The
one in
la-
Montreal.
Yeah.
That every
Yeah.
year.
Last-
Osheaga, is that
Yeah, that's
Osheaga?
right. Yeah.
What's the one in Stockholm?
Stockholm.
Yeah, it's like Tomorrowland. Yeah,
Oh,
Tomorrowland.
yeah.
I went to Tomorrowland in where'd I go? Tulum last year.
The one in
I'm supposed to know where you went.
the one
Where did I go, Matt? You're my assistant. Come on. Fetch it for me.
the one in Stockholm is supposed to be unbelievable. So like there's so many that you could go to, but you want to go to one that literally died because the guy was a criminal.
A criminal.
And now he's come out of jail. It's like I
doing
got
this
a
again.
I'm doing-
brilliant
yeah,
idea.
Let's do it again.
Let's run it back.
But I'm not going to take from you this time. I promise.
this time-
I've got you guys.
This
Don't worry.
time, though-
This time's different.
I'm not going to tell you who's playing. That's going to be the caveat. That's going to be the difference to make sure it goes off without a hitch.
If
Not
there was
gonna
one
tell
true
you.
festival I do want to go to, is Glastonbury.
Oh,
I
wow.
think that'd be fun.
What type of music is it?
It's in the UK.
Mhm.
It's more of the rock side, or like all sorts of genres of the rock. Coldplay's done it a number of times. Paul McCartney, Foo Fighters. There's been all sorts of different headliners that have come through that one, but that one is massive. BBC like airs it every year in the UK too,
Oh.
and it's like they got these massive flags on it. It actually looks like a pretty epic time.
Yeah.
The best music festival I've been to is EDC in Vegas. And I went, now it's insane.
You went to EDC, eh?
I went to EDC when it was like 250,000 people.
Only 250,000 people.
Oh, but now it is, because
I saw a good doc on this one
huge
once.
into this. I'm huge
Yeah, there was
into
a documentary
Yeah.
on this.
Really?
Yeah. Huge. And so I went when it
Hold
was
the
like low
phone.
key. What's that?
EDC 2013,
You're
great documentary. on it.
EDC? Are you
There's a full documentary. Highly
that's your
recommend it.
that's your speed? That music?
The number one, I love trance music.
Really?
CJSR
Learn something
Saturday
new.
nights,
Wow.
8 o'clock, 8 till 10. It's Trans Nation on CJSR 88.5.
Okay. No, I would love
I'm telling. Oh, it's,
I'm gonna
there's a
write that
stretch
down.
of CJSR from 4 until 11. I think it is. No, 6 until 11. No, 4 to 11. Yeah, 4 to 6 is Catch the Beat. 6 to 8 is BPM with DJ David Stone, who sometimes does Church of John, and then 8 till 11 is 8 till 10 is Trance Nation. It's a great stretch of like EDM music on CGSR 88.5 Saturdays.
Okay.
It's one of my
Really?
favorite
It's probably like
listens.
the latest stuff then, right?
It's
Yeah.
my Saturdays are my favorite on CGSR.
Wild. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, EDC is unreal if you're into, DJs, house music, trance music, etc. It is just unreal to see the costumes, the light shows. It's like
Yeah, go
something
check the
else.
documentary from
The
2013.
costumes. Yeah.
Costumes are the best at festivals. I love wearing costumes.
I would think that the
Did you wear a
EDM ones would
costume
be the
at
biggest.
Coachella?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Well,
It wasn't a costume. It was more like a hippie outfit, and you did like the,
okay,
the makeup.
because there is a costume at Coachella. I realize that. I wore me, my wife, a couple buddies. My one buddy lives down there. Parents live down there, so they always fly down and they spend time.
Mhm.
And my attire was shorts, a t-shirt, and shoes. And
basic.
I, with my buddies, were the most overdressed people
Oh,
in that entire area.
okay.
And when I say overdressed, I fully mean
Yeah, like
overdressed.
like nipple pasties and stuff like,
Like
that.
tassels.
Yeah.
and yeah.
Paint as
Yeah.
a shirt or a bra.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Coachella's jumped the shark. a
Brendan
little
is
bit.
now looking
Yeah.
at me like, are you being serious, dude?
I was
I am
gonna
being
say,
dead serious.
Coachella's
You should
different now,
probably
too.
go.
Really grasp me.
It's-
It's too commercialized. There's so many better festivals.
Well, yeah, like the,
You got to go check out that one.
And I think some
It
of
was
the people have
unbelievable
ripped on
music.
the lineups.
Yeah.
Who is the
Again,
headliners
I
this year?
went years ago.
Oh, Lady
Yeah.
Gaga
Yeah.
is the headliner on the Friday this year.
For who?
Meh.
Look, Coachella.
Yeah.
Green Day Saturday, Post Malone Sunday.
Oh, Posty, eh? Yeah, Posty would be good.
I saw
interesting.
Post Malone there. I saw, I think Eminem was there the one year.
Oh, that's good.
Beyonce was there the one year.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Lollapalooza.
Who else would have been there? Childish Gambino.
He's unreal. Underrated.
It was actually a really good set. I was actually very impressed.
Yeah, I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers
Yeah.
were the.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome.
Lollapalooza this
And
year
Eric
has
Prydz.
Tyler, the
Yeah.
Creator, Zach Bryan, Olivia Rodrigo, My Chemical Romance.
I don't believe for a second that Boom Boom wasn't wearing nipple tassels.
Oh my god!
That's going to do it. We'll have to end the hangout on that
Okay.
one. We do got the Lock Shop coming up next. We got Oil Stream live from Nemeo Center, Boston Pizza. Also, Lock Shop, Dusty will be there as well. EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show with J-Mill. That's all to come here on Edmonton Sports Talk. This was a fun hangout. We got through it.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
On behalf of Bellezy, Jasmine, Brendan, the intern, I am Matt. Tomorrow, Brendan's going to do the Rubik's Cube live on the air here on the EST Hangout. Thanks for watching the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. As I said, Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today